We really need to take advantage of this time right now when we have the vaccines. They are freely available for everyone to get vaccinated so that we can stop the spread of the Delta variant, but also we can prevent the development of new variants. The situation with the Delta variant can't really be understated at this point. We are really at a pivotal moment in the pandemic right now. We were on the downtrend in the United States with increasing vaccination rates and decreasing new cases. And what has happened is that we've gone from having our first case of the Delta variant in the United States in March to it now being the vast majority of our sequenced cases. The Delta variant, which was first seen in December in India, is more contagious than the previous strains that we've had in the United States, but it's also causing more severe illness. So that is causing hospitalizations to increase, ICU admissions to increase, and we're looking at another wave of the pandemic. So it's more contagious, and that's concerning. It's more serious, and that's concerning. The messenger RNA vaccines are highly effective against this variant. So we have that information from clinical studies as well as from laboratory tests of what we think the immune response should be. And so they're showing clinically in the UK, where the Delta variant has been taking hold for many months now, that those mRNA vaccines are still highly effective. So over 80% for infection and 90% or so for severe disease. So it's still very important to take those vaccines. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine is probably also going to be very effective. There are some early studies looking at the laboratory measurement of our immune system response that are very promising and show really good response to the Delta variant. But we don't yet have large numbers of people in clinical studies to see what the impact of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is on the Delta variant just yet, but we're very hopeful that that's going to be positive as well. We want everyone who is able to get vaccinated to get vaccinated. You know, we've sort of stalled out in the United States with our vaccination rates. And nationally, only half of the population has been fully documented, a little less than half. And there are some states that are doing better and some states that are lagging behind. And we're seeing that those states that have lower vaccination rates is where the Delta variant is spreading the most. People have often been waiting to see how people respond to the vaccines and what kind of side effects happen. If people have been waiting to see, now's your chance to go ahead and get vaccinated, because we've seen that people do very, very well. Side effects are mild, they're self-limited. These vaccines are incredibly safe. Now is the time for people to get vaccinated. And that's really the only way that we're going to stave off what could be a really devastating next wave of this pandemic. There have been a couple of more serious adverse events that were so rare that they didn't occur in those large clinical trials of more than 40,000 people. So when we're talking about things that are so rare, it's a few in a million, you can't detect those even in very large clinical trials. So what we have done is we have these really robust surveillance systems to detect more rare problems. And we have detected a few of those now. The first one was the bleeding and clotting problem that was associated with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which was also seen with other vaccines in that same platform, the AstraZeneca vaccine. And that primarily affects women under 50, and it's still incredibly rare, and it is still safe for women to take either kind of vaccine. The second condition that we found through this vaccine surveillance system is myocarditis, which is associated with the mRNA vaccines in predominantly males. And it appears to be more common in younger males, but adults, including older adults, have also experienced it. And myocarditis is an inflammation of the heart, and it's really rare. People don't often talk about it or know about it, but it actually is a complication of COVID infection. It's also a complication of other viral infections, and when people have this, they often don't know the cause of it. But unlike those clotting and bleeding disorder that was found in women associated with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, this is a condition that's pretty straightforward to identify. Standard treatment is conservative care with some medications like anti-inflammatory medications. And people do very well and go home from the hospital and recover fully. I would say it is still safe and recommended for everyone to be vaccinated, even with these rare conditions that have been found to be associated with the vaccines, because the risks are far outweighed by the benefits of vaccination. We have not seen any concerns for reproductive side effects from any of the COVID vaccines, and that includes fertility as well as birth outcomes. These concerns arose out of an internet rumor, which is actually a complete fabrication. There is no concern for safety of women who are pregnant, women who are trying to conceive, or for future reproductive development.